How y'all doing? This is Preacherman R&B, and this is another Preacherman Debates, and we're doing this with Jurassic Nerd again. This time we're doing the Ninja Turtles movie. He's reviewing the older Ninja Turtles movie, even though I kind of wanted it, but I'm going to let him do it.
Because I like the old ones too.
And then I'm going to do the newer Ninja Turtle movie. I've only watched the first one. I ain't watched the second one yet. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to let him start us off. Alright, what's your argument on the old Ninja Turtle movies?
I love them. I really do. They're the ones I grew up with because I'm older, not too much older where I was around for them, but old enough where I was watching them at Willard before, you know. So, basically, I think they're better, and just because the quality of them, and also they seem to have more effort put in. Like, Robbie hasn't seen the new one, I haven't either, but it's just I'm just going off the first in the Michael Bay series, which I don't know if they're going to make another one, if it's going to become a series or just the two maybe, but anyways, the only one they did good on the first two, and the only one they really messed up on was the third. Maybe, what was it called? Turtles in Time. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to try to let Robbie talk a little more this time, because he barely said anything in the,
Plot-wise, on the older movies, what did you like about the plot from the newer ones?
The newer ones?
Yeah, or what did you like about the older ones' plot from the newer ones?
Alright. Yeah. It seems, it has, like, focuses a lot more on the... I mean, it focuses on April and Casey Jones, but... mainly, but the Turtles seem to get a lot more focus than they do in the newer movies. It's like, mostly April, in the newer movies, April's stories of, how, you know, she's, trying to figure out about the Turtles and like, prove that she's not crazy, what's her name? Whoopi Goldberg? Or no?
That's the newer movie.
Yeah. I'm just talking about. But the older ones seem to be. The plot seems to be a lot more conflicting, and it actually focuses on the Turtles. Like, basically, also the newer ones use one of the most cliche movie plots ever about, you know, the New York and gas. They did it recently, not that recently, but recently in the Amazing Spider-Man also. But they've done that in a lot of movies. Why is the older ones, they actually came up with their own plot with the, yeah, basically. But it also seems to be dark, like, the movie, like, not super dark, but it's darker than the newer ones are by a long shot. Like, the fact where it's like that scene where, like, Shredder has Splinter, like, tied up in that place, and he's, like...
like Casey Jones trying to get some...
Yeah. But he's, like, basically torturing Splinter, and, like, if you've never read the original Margarine, Ninja Turtles, they were dark, like... It's not, like, the it's kind of based, I like the fact that it's based off, the original one the movies are based off the 80s cartoon and the original comics kind of roll back into one, like, it's the perfect mixture of, dark and serious and lighthearted and goofy, and, like, the plots, you want to talk?
Yeah, finish up.
But the plot's more conflicting too, like the fact that these teenagers are, like, being turned, or stealing things, like the Foot Clan, and they're trying, and they're trying to, it's been a while since I've actually watched the first one, but I believe they're trying to, I forget. I probably should have went back and watched the first movie before this.
Yeah, I think it's something like they're trying to find something.
Why don't we start this and do it?
No, we're doing this right now. Anyway, With the newer ones, I like that fact that the Foot Clan wasn't a bunch of teenagers. With but in the older ones, it's not really that believable. Oh, you're gonna get a bunch of homeless kids and train them how to fight to be ninjas. Where in the new first one, they're a terrorist organization. Now, yeah, they use guns. I didn't like that. They could have been terrorists. Yeah, they could have been a terrorist.
I knew they fixed that in the second video.
They could have been a terrorist organization with swords instead of guns, but I actually like the concept that it's organized group and the Shredder, he kind of looks like Transformer in the movies.
Yeah, he's like with swords.
It's kind of cool, but it's kind of not. And
I thought it was cool, but apparently everybody else on the internet hated that.
Yeah, but anyway, the number one thing that got me during that movie was at the end when Raphael thinks they're about to die. They're on the tower and it's about to fall, and he explains to his brothers that the reason he picks on them and gives them a hard time all the time is because it doesn't feel like he's worthy to be their brothers or to be involved with them and to help them like that. He thinks he's unworthy of being a Ninja Turtle, and it kind of preludes to how me and my little brother's relationship is. Yeah, I pick on him a lot, but
he picks on you.
Yeah, but I felt like I wasn't worthy enough to be his older brother, and it kind of got to me when I first watched it. It kind of made me tear up a little bit, and that's the first Ninja Turtle movie that's ever done that, really. And I just, I didn't like how Splinter Loyalty looked like the naked mole rat, but them being bulked up, it's kind of believable because what have they been doing? They've been in sewers their whole lives, lifting weights, doing acrobatics. They're not going to be like little skinny animals. These guys are going to be big. They've been in the sewer training since they was mutated, so it's kind of believable. Raph's a little bit too big, but I kind of get where they was coming from with that. And based off the commercials and the reviews I've watched of Black Nerd Comedy, or the newer, the Out of the Shadows, the new one, I kind of like how he talks about how Bebop and Rocksteady was portrayed in that movie and how they kind of slight reboot from the second, but it's still in the same time frame as the first movie. And I like that, and I can't wait to watch that movie, and sometime in the future I will do a review on it, but my movie reviews are going in order, so that's what I'm doing right now. And the Ninja Turtle movies are all the way back here, and I got like one full DVD case back there I had to get through, so it's going to be a little bit. But anyway, I really liked that movie, and I liked how they portrayed the Turtles, and especially how they portrayed Raphael, because that's my favorite character. I've always liked Raphael. Anything else you got on the second movies? I mean, the first movies?
Yeah, a couple of things, that's kind of different in our opinions. Like, I understand, like, how, like, it can make you, kind of, like, feel something with, I'm not going to talk about this very much because I can't relate to it because I only have sisters, so I have no idea about a brother dynamic at all, but...
Well, we're kind of like brothers.
Yeah, we're kind of like brothers. But, anyways, the thing about the organized, I do like an organized Foot Clan, like they're actual ninjas, even though they're more like army men in the first movie. But anyways, I do like that, but I also like the fact that, there's somebody in the background, or it's our cousin, he's, listening to music or something right now, so don't mind that. But anyways, I also like the fact that it's like, in the old movies, it's like, there's these kids, they're teenagers, but they're kind of in a bad situation. It's kind of like a real gang, like a gang you would actually find in New York, and I really like that about the Foot Clan in the old movies, even though, yeah, it's kind of unbelievable that they're going to be able to, maneuver things, but also, like, if these are, I also like that I honestly think that the teenagers from the original movies, even though the newer movies, they'd probably be better ninjas, but I think in the older movies, the Foot Clan would actually be more street smart, being these kids that grew up in bad conditions, or like he said, maybe just homeless, living on their own their entire life. I like that.
Now, my thoughts on the second Turtles, the Ooze or whatever.
Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze. I didn't like that they. Alright, Razor and
Token and Razor.
Yeah, Token and Razor. They are in the comics, but the only reason they put them in that second movie is because they couldn't do Bebop and Rocksteady at the time, and that's the only reason they was in that movie.
Was that copyright or something?
No, it wasn't copyright. It was they could have done it. They just didn't feel it would look right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they was babies. All right, they was acting like newborns, and you couldn't. I didn't understand it, but
I think they were trying to do that same kind of comic relief thing they did with Bebop and Rocksteady, and that's why they tried to make them babies. Like, I understand, I don't really like it. I do like the characters of Token and Razor because I do have a lot of nostalgia behind them, but I like Bebop and Rocksteady better still, you know.
Alright, so end thoughts, which we ain't gonna do a 22-minute video this time. I'm sorry.
This time, yeah. End thoughts. One end thought I like about the original movies is, I don't remember if they have this in the, yeah, there's people all in this house right now, but anyways, it's like, there's something I like it. I can't remember if they do this in the newer movies. I watched some of it the other day. I have seen the first of the new movies, but I am kind of excited because Bebop and Rocksteady and Krang and Baxter Stockman in the new movie. But anyways, I do like the fact that it's this running thing all up until the third movie, where spoilers, I'm pretty sure Splinter actually does. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he does kick the bucket. But anyways, I like how before that, all through the movies, he's trying to prepare the Turtles for when he actually does die. Like, he's constantly talking about, one day I'm not going to be around and you guys are going to have to...
That's why he's so hard on Leo.
Yeah, because Leo's the most mature. He's, like, the original 80s theme song says he's the leader. He's going to have to be kind of the sensei as soon as... But I like that. That would probably be my closing thought. So.
My closing thoughts, I can't completely because I ain't watched Out of the Shadows yet, but I like the fact that they're going to have Oliver Queen, a.k.a. Stephen Amell, as Casey Jones, the guy who plays Arrow, and y'all know I review Arrow, so that's a big plus for me. I like that Sheamus is Rocksteady. I'm a big WWE fan, y'all. I got videos on that where I went to Jackson Live. But I love it, and I can't wait to see what they do with that. And I'm glad that they're making these movies. They don't have to be making these movies, so that's all I got. As always, Preacherman on be signing out. Guys, be awesome. See y'all next time.